What you watching? Just between you and me. What you streaming on your TV? Let me see. What you watching? Action, drama, comedy. What you streaming on your TV?
That's safe.net.
Okay, so this is not the Rubber Squid anymore, right, Stoff? It's not the Rubber Squid podcast. What do you call this podcast now?
This is just the bonus What You Watching podcast.
Just to watch it. So basically what you're trying to do is create extra material
that people are craving and demanding.
People want more from us. So it's like when they put The Bachelor twice a week instead of once a week.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it.
That's
or like
what
on
it is.
Big Brother, where you can pay extra to watch them inside the house.
So we'll have the regular podcast on Thursday. If you're tuning in for the regular Rubber Boots podcast, that comes your way on Thursday. This is just a little bonus 10-minute edition of the podcast. You're wondering where our friend Lester is. Lester has his brother's in town this week, the Wonder Boy, right?
No. His brother is
Tony Ferraro. Tony Ferraro.
Tony Ferraro is his brother, yes.
His brother is a...
Elton Ron.
Elton Ron.
Brandy.
No, Brandy is not. Brandy is his
lover. So his brother is... do we know his brother's name?
Mark,
I think.
Mark McQueen.
That's
right.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm on low power mode already. We better make this fast. So what are we going to talk about?
We didn't have any homework, did we? I didn't watch.
Yeah. We were supposed to watch something?
Well, we did discuss this last week. I'm
Yeah.
sure everyone watched the movie or at least read about it on Wikipedia.
So I did look it up. It's called A Cry in the Dark, right? I think I said it was a shot in the... Did I screw it up last week? It's called
it had an alternative title. That's what was confusing.
Right.
But I think you said Cry in the Dark.
So I had always thought that no one ever said... no one ever says in the movie...
my baby.
No one ever says, maybe a dingo ate your baby, which is Elaine's line. But I always thought the only line that Meryl Streep gives in that movie was, it's my baby daughter you're talking about. But I went back and looked at the clip where the dingo steals the baby from the movie. And I believe that Meryl Streep does say, a dingo took my baby. So there you go.
And that's what Elaine's playing off of.
That is what Elaine is playing off of. So I was confused all these years. I never thought that line was in the movie, but indeed, a dingo took my baby is in the film.
Right. Now, she was freed after a couple of years, like you talked about.
Yes.
I think the movie implies it's because of the found...
Scarf or whatever? Yeah.
Something found near a cave.
Her little baby pajama thingy.
But from what I read on the actual legal stuff from the case, it was more so that the case is technically still open, I think. They just couldn't imprison her because they couldn't prove she did it. But they don't necessarily believe more so that a dingo did it.
Oh, so they still might believe she's guilty?
They believe they don't know what happened, basically. It could have been a dingo. That's the other thing they're explaining, but there's no...
It's an unsolved mystery.
It's an unsolved mystery, I guess. So
that was a good show back in the day.
A very good show. Is that guy still alive? What was his name?
Robert Stack.
Oh, he was Stack. Good, eh?
He scared the crap out of me.
I was going to say, as a kid, I'd watch that sometimes. It was terrifying.
That music was so scary.
Maybe the best host for a particular show ever.
Yeah.
I will date myself, so it must be only people maybe over 40 that would know this one. But when I was a kid, my favorite show was In Search Of with Leonard Nimoy. And they would do In Search Of Bigfoot, In Search Of the Loch Ness Monster. And Leonard Nimoy, I believe, was the host and did a wonderful job.
Did they ever find anything on that show?
Yes, Leonard Nimoy actually found Bigfoot himself and rescued him. I had a weird obsession with Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster. All my school projects were on that. I love the mysteries back then. Yeah. That's what I wanted to do. If you asked little Jimmy in grade 4 what he wanted to do with his life, he would have said hunt for Bigfoot.
Really?
Yep. Not so much anymore.
I think you'd have a few less handbags.
I don't know if you think Brooksy would have married a Bigfoot hunter.
I don't know if she would have married a Bigfoot hunter.
Oh yeah, I just read something in the New York Times. Very interesting story, which I never read before, about a murder in I think it was in France, where a socialite woman was murdered on her own farm, and the gardener was convicted of the murder And I think he's been released after like 15 years, but now they want a retrial because he wants his name cleared. And I believe his name is Omar, if I get this right. And this sounds like a Dateline.
Mm-hmm.
They found her locked in the barn. It was locked from the outside, but it was blockaded from the inside. Like they pushed a bed or whatever, so you couldn't get out from the inside, or you couldn't get in, but it was also locked from the outside.
Mm.
And she had written in her own blood, en français, Omar m'a tué, Omar killed me.
Really?
But she made a grammatical mistake in French in the way that the tense of the verb. And so it came into court that a lot of people said she would not have done that wrong. So somebody framed Omar because it is kind of a hell of a cliche to write. Like if I was a cop and the first thing I saw was Omar killed me, I'd probably think somebody's framing Omar here. Wouldn't you think right away?
Not me. I would be like, this is a case closed.
Let's go to the bar.
Paperwork. Let's wrap it. You got Omar. Well, you're done.
Well, apparently that's what they did. So
you should have killed her a little bit quicker.
Omar. Well, I don't know. Probably Omar probably did it, but because they argued that she thought Omar was going to come back, so she blockaded the door and then she died.
Oh.
Right.
But the thing is, maybe Omar did do it. And then he's like, but then if I write my name and grammatically do it wrong, then they're going to think someone else did it. Omar playing checkers and you're playing chess.
That didn't work out so well for Omar.
Hold on.
I'll do
5-6 years in prison.
He did get out.
He laid up the long game. It's the long game.
He played the super long game. But the defense argued, and pulled the bed up against the door to make, I don't know. It was a very convoluted case. Read it. It's in the New York Times, all right? I haven't even seen the television. I'm sure Keith Morrison's done it.
Do you think there'd be a lot more like killing and crimes if like there was no punishment? Like, do you think there would be it would be like crazy? Like, do you think you'd still be alive? Or would you mean? Do you think like if you were like a 17-year-old, you could take an AK, whatever it is, and run into a crowd and just shoot people and get off? Apparently, yeah. Apparently, you can. Yeah. But like, I mean, like, you think like I wouldn't be any more likely to kill people because like it's not like I just wonder how many people actually would be killing people, or if you didn't go to jail.
I think it would.
I would say it deters some people. I would
like really. You think like there's people that are like.
So hold on, Puffy. Are you saying that our legal system's completely ineffective in terms of scaling people?
I think we might need to. I think we might need to try something else. See if we can slow this down.
Well, what's that movie that you love, Puffy? There's one day a year when there's no laws.
Oh, The Purge.
Purge.
Oh,
so do you think that would actually happen? That it would fall into the Purge? Do you think the low-level criminals who didn't care would just go kill all the rich people if there were no rules?
Yeah, there definitely might be some killing that way for money and stuff.
Mm-hmm. See, here's the problem is, I think you're right. Like 95%, 98% of the population would not murder more.
Yeah, I'm not hankering for some murder.
But it just would be it would be an escalate. There would be an escalation.
Yeah, that 5% the few people would kill a lot more.
Yeah. They would murder.
They would kill a lot more,
and then the other percent would come kill the 5%, which would get another 5% angry to go, and then it would end up in the Purge.
I'm gonna backtrack. I don't think we should do that. Let's keep the murder laws.
When Puffy runs for office, he's gonna take that off.
Initially, I had it on my platform.
It's gone.
But now I'm gonna backtrack. I don't think we should do it, guys.
It's okay.
That's what meetings. That's this little caucus meeting we just did here. That's how we iron it out to get the best platform possible.
That's how you do it
when we're running things.
No laws. Scratch that one.
No, we're gonna go laws. More laws.
Some laws.
All laws.
Stoff had written down some interesting things here about the pandemic on television. It's starting to creep into a lot of our shows.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Stoff's first question, Puffy, was, do you want shows to show the pandemic, or would you rather watch escape television where you pretend the pandemic did not happen? What's your preference?
I'm escape television. I have any interest in watching people in a pandemic situation, unless it's all like pandemic. This one wasn't even like a sexy pandemic. Like, you know, ones where it was like people are like, you know, I was like dying right away. Like this one's like slowly, like kind of just a sad pandemic. So like it wouldn't even be good to watch.
It wasn't even a sexy pandemic.
Like, so, it was a sexy one, like Ebola or something like that.
Well, like
so Puffy, you want a different disease is what you want.
Yeah. I want one that's a little bit more
you're gone in like 5 seconds, right?
Yeah. This one wasn't sexy.
What was that movie with
devastating? Not sexy. Contingent. Contingent. I never learned how to say that.
Also, when you run for office, you'll need to work on your vocabulary.
I'm gonna have to have a speechwriter and a speech and a speaker
and a prompter. Yeah, because in Contagion you went pretty quick.
Spoiler alert.
Not like instantaneously, but pretty damn quick.
Yeah.
Right. Like Gwyneth Paltrow, she just like gone.
Oh, she was in there. She was in the movie.
She was the one that started the whole Contagion.
Oh wow! I would have thought she would have lasted the whole.
It was like 15 years ago. That movie.
Was it before Shakespeare in Love?
No.
Well, then that's a pretty big surprise when the Academy Award winner dies early on, and it's not called Scream. It's pretty surprising.
What's your opinion on this stuff?
For me, I just personally think I've definitely had enough pandemic all around us that I'm definitely okay with them completely ignoring it. I also think there's probably a danger of getting a little too political, also getting too presumptive with certain things. We obviously still don't probably know everything, so especially with a medical drama, like would treat it as if they found a cure for the pandemic or something. That probably wouldn't be a great idea.
Right.
So yeah, I'm probably better without it. 2
shows which I'm currently engaged in. The morning show, which I've just finished season 2.
Nice.
I won't do any spoiler alerts. It's a good show. It's not like an incredible show, but it's a good show. Big cast, well acted.
Mm-hmm.
Their entire season 2 is the backdrop of the pandemic. And it's interesting in a sense that it's about a morning TV show, like basically the Today Show or Good Morning America or whatever. They're sort of living the plots of the show while there's these little reports out of China of some little problem, right?
Oh.
And as the season goes along, suddenly COVID is becoming a little more prominent until like the last episode, it becomes a major deal. And
is it Steve Carell? Is Steve Carell die?
I can't. I don't want to give away anything from this. Anything I say will give stuff away.
Jennifer Aniston.
Anyway, a key cast member gets COVID and they try to cancel.
Jimmy, what kind of show is that? Is this a comedy or?
No, it's a drama. It's basically based on the entire Matt Lauer situation with the Today Show.
Oh,
it is a fictional account where Steve Carell essentially plays Matt Lauer. Jennifer Aniston plays whoever, a Katie Couric type character. Although I don't want to defame Katie Couric because Jennifer Aniston's like a complicated character in this. Reese Witherspoon's like the up and comer joining the show, and it's good from a TV perspective because I think it shows, obviously a exaggerated, a dramatized version of what those morning shows are like in the States with the egos and everything else. And,
now, does Steve Carell character get back on air?
Well, again, I'd be giving something away. I think it's pretty clear that if you start watching the show, I'm not going to say it. He gets canceled in it's essentially the exact Matt Lauer case almost, basically.
Oh, really?
With a little extra dramatized stuff in there, a couple of deaths and things.
Oh, nice.
But to your point, Stoff, it did kind of bug me. I didn't want to relive COVID as I was watching it. I'm like, oh God, I don't want to go through this again. It just took me back to that first year when we didn't know anything and everything was terrifying and scary. But I think they did a pretty good job of dealing with it. I'm just worried that season 3 now is going to pick up right now. They've put themselves in a little bit of a hole where if there's a season 3 of the morning show, it's going to pick up and be, in the midst of COVID again for another season, which might be a little much. The other show, which you mentioned, Stoff, is You. Y-O-U.
Oh.
Are you watching that show, Stoff?
No, I watched seasons 1 and 2. At the end of season 2, it looked very much like season 3 was going to be just like seasons 1 and 2. So I tapped out of the series.
Okay, so was there, without giving anything away again, the major plot twist in season 2? Did it make you go, "Oh, give me a effing break"? To an extent, like, are they really going to do this now?
To an extent, because it kind of made it. You could kind of also see it coming, right? Like that's what it was building.
You could. I mean, I didn't see it. I sort of saw it, I guess, an episode or two before. I didn't see it early, but I saw it to an extent. But here's the thing. So I watched that episode, and I was like, okay, enough of this show, Brooksy. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of a good show. It's very much a Dexter ripoff. If anybody watched Dexter, straight down to the voiceovers in the middle of conversations, which Dexter, I think, sort of started. I don't know if we give him full credit for that show, but early Dexter was very good. The first early seasons of Dexter I thought were awesome. It went downhill. I'm watching it again now, kind of BTV. We'll see where it goes. I'm only a couple of episodes in, but and they make a couple of references to Dexter, so I think they're kind of aware of it. It is very cleverly, like the writing's quite clever. But season 3, we decided to go back to it because now I find it's more of a comedy. It's always been a bit of a dark comedy, like a very dark comedy when you say with dramatic. But there's like season 3, they've almost taken it to the next level of funny, I think, where it's hard to take it serious. And I can't give anything away, but their way of referring to COVID in season 3 of You is that an anti-vaxxer is a villain.
Oh,
and they play it right into the storyline, and it's not about COVID; it's about measles. Oh, and I thought it was quite genius that they just made this anti-vaxxer who doesn't get his kids immunized for measles as a kind of villain. Who I can't give up anymore for our listeners, but You is a good show with some plot twists. You got to go. Come on, a little bit. I would say that's a fair assessment. Or would you say no? Would you thumbs down on You or what?
No, I think it's good. I think the plot even still holds. It's become a little repetitive, and I think it's becoming just a bit of like a Riverdale type.
They're running out of ideas.
Yeah,
they're running out of ideas, and which is what happened with Dexter in the end. But now they're bringing it back, baby. Have you watched the new Dexter at all? Has anybody watched the new Dexter?
I haven't seen the one yet.
I never watched the old one.
Season 4 of Dexter, one of the best seasons of I think any show on TV.
Trinity?
John Lithgow.
Season. So that's the last one I watched, and there was a long layoff after.
Smart of you.
So the season with Most Def isn't good? The next season.
I don't remember it. I don't really. The rest are kind of a blur to me. It just got kind of goofy in the end. But season 4 was definitely the peak for Dexter, 100%. If I was telling you to go watch Dexter now, I would say watch Dexter. I think it's really good. But after season 4, you can say goodnight, basically.
I guess I did the right thing then.
Yeah.
Although I'm kind of getting into it again just because I missed the character. But there's some real BTV elements to the new relaunch Dexter. Like some of the scenes are just so. Some of the acting is just so bad that I'm just like, oh God.
It hurts what you saw before. It's kind of like The Simpsons.
It is.
Has The Simpsons got like that? Like where they're acting?
I would say if you compared The Simpsons.
The acting skills have gone downhill the past years. The guy who plays Bart in season 17 is really horrible.
He's smoking.
Yeah, I definitely say The Simpsons dropped off after the first 10 seasons.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're gonna have to come up with a new show to do this damn podcast about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we will.
How about You?
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone. But have you guys watched the Yellowstone?
I've not watched Yellowstone. Really?
But the problem is, how do we do Yellowstone when it's like 4 seasons? Everybody's watched it, so we can't do that.
3, yeah.
All right. Why don't we take recommendations from our listeners? What is a show, maybe a new show that you would like us to review?
Yeah, or a couple shows. Tell us what to check out. We'll let you know what we think, and we can.
And don't say Breaking Bad or whatever. Okay, like we're talking about new shows. Off the charts. I hate when I go on Twitter once in a while, like, hey, give me a new show to watch. And they're like, yeah, you guys should watch The Wire or Breaking Bad or Cheers. What?
Cheers. Oh, it'd be good to rewatch Cheers.
Friends. Why don't you try Friends? Come on, people. Be better than that, all right? Find me something off the map. Thanks for watching. Hey, Flaked. You told me about Flaked.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's like started in 2017. I thought it was a new show.
It's new to me. I just started watching on Netflix.
Okay, I thought it was new. It was like 2017 show. So don't you think if it was really great, I would have heard about it at some point?
I'm not telling you if it's really great. I watched season 1. It's awesome. If you like Will Arnett, you will love the show. If you don't like Will Arnett, you will not like the show. Very big part of the show.
I like Will Arnett. All right. Yeah. Thanks for watching the whatever we call this thing, brought to you by betsafe.net. And don't forget to tune in Thursday on YouTube at 6 p.m. or listen from wherever you get your favorite podcasts to another edition of the Rubber Boots Pod. Lester, we miss you. We miss you dearly.
Miss you dearly.
We thought about not doing it, but we're gonna struggle through and get through one on Thursday. And Lester, hopefully, will be back
with a very special guest.
Oh,
Thursday we have a guest.
Really?
Who is it?
You'll see.
No,
it couldn't be. Could it?
Eric Stone Street. It's got to be
$697. Well spent, baby. See you Thursday.
But what if he caught him?
Christmas lights by myself.
What if Jimmy caught him?
I just made a reference for the future.
Yes, you did.
Oh, notice the different background, Jimmy.
Jokes that you might get in 2 days.
What you watching? Just between you and me. What you streaming on your TV? Let me see. What you watching? Action, drama, comedy. What you streaming on your TV?
Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight?